All right, good afternoon, traders. And can you hear me and see me? It looks like it. All right. Yeah, I think we're all set to go here. Uh, all right, welcome to the special events here. New indicator. The premiere is the launch of Outside Liquidity Indicator here at Bookmap. Let's go through it and just show you what is required, how to get it, how to install it, how to read it, what it does. Let's go through some disclosures first. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so let's jump over here and take a look at the indicator. Let me show you first, I think, what is included here. All right, so or how you get it. So let's go to pricing at bookmap.com. I do not see it listed yet here. I believe it works and it is included with Digital Plus Global and Global Plus. Right, I'm not sure on that. I'll have to double check on the availability here, and I'm waiting to. Okay, yeah, just verified it now. So yes, it's for all those versions here, all the paid versions of Bookmap. Let me also show you where you can find more information on it and how you download it. So go to the More button here, click on that, and go to our knowledge base. Now this is going to be the same process for all of the add-ons. And our knowledge base is the hub. It is the user guide section here. The add-ons next to it is where you want to go. This is where you'll find all of the add-ons. These two sections will probably answer 99% of your questions. And then we'll look for it here in the add-ons list in the left margin, and you can see it right here, Outside Liquidity. We'll click on that. And you can read about it here. What is it? It's very, very simple. As the name suggests, it's showing liquidity outside the visible heat map chart. We'll get into the details here, the configuration, etc. On the right margin here, you can go through all the details, but we're going to go down to the bottom in installation. This is where you can find the add-on. This is where you download it. And then you will install it using the process you see here below. You will need to have Bookmap 7.3 build 37 or greater. All right, so that's what's required here. And I can show you the download process. Once you've downloaded it, click on add-ons here, click add, and then find it, and then select it and add it. Simple as that. And now let's go to it and let's add it here to the chart. So outside liquidity, it's here. I'll select it and I'll click on and select the text here as well. All right, so the different modes, and first off, what is it showing? All right, so what do we have here on the chart? What we're seeing here that's new is in upper left and lower left and upper right and lower right. You see these new values, these new numbers. What is it showing? All right, well, this is showing the liquidity, and in this instrument here is the number of contracts that are above and below current price. All right, so it's not visible in here. Now that calculation, if I zoom in or zoom out, the calculation is going to change. Okay, so now I zoomed out more, and you can see there's less. We're looking at more in the visible chart here. So we're seeing the 1.5, and then also it was 900 something. Now it's 771. Okay, so we're seeing more of the visible chart. Therefore, there's less outside of the visible chart. Okay, makes pretty good sense. Now this is for liquidity. Now you can see the vertical white line. We know this is the divider between the historical view on the left and the current view on the right. It is to the right of the vertical white line. So this is showing liquidity only in the current order book. All right, so then that's what the one on the right hand side is showing, both bottom and top. Okay, this is liquidity above the best offer, or I'm sorry, above the viewable chart here on the best offer. And then this is liquidity here below the visible chart here on the bid. Okay, what about these numbers over here? Well, very simply put, this is showing you the left hand edge at this moment here in time. This is showing you liquidity above the market previously, or right at this moment here. It has nothing to do with anything in between here. Okay, it's just showing you on the left edge here. All right, the liquidity above and then the liquidity below. So obviously this is historical, but you can see the distinction here. You may see the distinction. You see it down here on the bid, that there was more previously than there is currently. And that's what you want to read and try to understand. All right, so it's not showing you much here on the offer side, but it is showing you distinction that they've pulled liquidity below this current view in the chart right now. Okay, so that's what these are showing you. And the different zoom levels, obviously you're going to get a different result here. See it boost up to 2.1 and 2K here, and still they're showing less. Well, now it was more. Now it's less. They're showing less over here previously than they are in the below the current view right now. Okay, so and the K stands for 1,000, of course, so that's 2,000. This 2.1 thousand. Okay, all right, so let me just see if there's any questions offhand, and I don't believe there are. Okay, no, it looks like we're good, guys. If you have questions in Discord, just hit up in the Discord special events chat room there. All right, and then you can get your question answered, or at least I'll give it a shot. All right, now let's go through some of the other settings in here, and then we'll get into practical applications. Okay, so let's go back to the knowledge base here. Boy, I got a lot open. Okay, and let's scroll back up to the top here. All right, well, the configuration windows, we don't have to look at this, actually. It'd be quicker. Let's just go through it all in here. Let's bring it back up. Okay, click on this, and we are showing the bid and ask liquidity outside of the current view. To where, though, right? So you can see I've actually got this box checked here. I'm showing it's a limit here. I'm going to deselect it right now. We'll go over that option in a second here. Okay, now the values have changed dramatically. Okay, now it's 33K and 25K in the current market, 34K in the on the left edge here, and 24K down below. Okay, well that's a huge difference, right? Because this is full depth of market. Okay, 33,000 contracts are above this current view. Right now we're talking about reading some higher time frame liquidity here, that it just gives you some insight to book imbalances or skews in the auction on much higher time frames, and just get a feel for an understanding of participants on those higher time frames and where they're placing their orders. Right, so it's been requested for quite a while, and here it is. Here's your indicator, and this is full depth of market, right? Everything outside of it, and that's quite a bit. So the different markets and different data providers are going to give a different definition on what is full depth, or what they are showing. Crypto markets, for example, will give you every single level. And now that depends as well. Like each different exchange or data provider they have a different way of defining that. Right? Stocks are going to be different. Futures are going to be different. Maybe we can come up with a guide and give you a very clear definition of those, you know, what those limitations might be, if you're curious about them. All right, so anyway, there's another selection here in the indicator mode that is going to show the difference between the two, the bid and the ask liquidity. So let's click on that. Okay, now you can see we've lost the ones in the upper right and the upper left hand corner, but in the lower left hand corner and lower right hand corner we see the delta. All right, that's it. So the delta is, you see the symbol delta and then 8.9K. All right, so and now it just dropped. Someone just pulled quite a bit, or you know, they're actually adding here now on the offer. All right, it's bumping up here. Okay, so there's more on the offer in the delta here. Let's go back to the mode again and look at the difference here. Makes pretty good sense. It's about 9,000. Okay, just by doing simple arithmetic here, but we're just showing the delta. All right, 34K minus 25K is about 9. So we're showing it here, 9.5, and that's it. That's all it's showing. All right, so you know that there's a skew. Now this location down here is not going to change. It's always going to be, for the delta, it's always going to be in the lower right hand and lower left hand, so you don't get any confusion on that. And that's that. All right, let's go back to the original mode here, and then let's look at some different selections in here. So in filters, so limit the number of levels to be calculated. Let's choose 100. Okay, well, actually let's choose 10 just for kicks. Okay, so 10 levels. What does this mean? What is it calculating now? It's still making the same calculation for liquidity outside of this viewable range here, but only for 10 levels outside of this viewable range. That's it. That's all it means. So this way, you know, maybe you're not interested in all of them. You're just interested in a select number of them. Maybe it's 10, maybe it's 100, maybe it's you know, 25 or so. This is where you'll have to kind of you know, play around with it and get the results you're looking for. Let's try 25. Okay, and just kind of give us a feel for 25 levels outside of this viewable range. And so we can't see everything, but this will give you kind of an insight to what's going on outside of the viewable chart here. Okay, so that's that setting. Very simple and straightforward. Let me know if you have any questions. And then also this one here, include the visible price levels. Okay, this is kind of tricky here. We're going to select it. And now it's 34K and 36K down here on the bid side. What is it calculating now? It is calculating everything 25 levels above the best bid, okay, or I'm sorry, above the best offer here, and then also 25 levels on the on the bid. Okay, that's it. So it might be within the viewable range here. So I'm not getting much out of this calculation at all. If it was like, you know, 225 or so, now I'm going to get something out of it because it's going to include what's in my viewable range here. So if you like that setting, it was suggested, so we put it in here, and so you get the full calculation. Inside and outside. Okay, inside our viewable range and outside the viewable range. You can also deselect it here, and if we deselect the show visible ranges, you know, you can see this is outside. If we select also the viewable range inside, you see it go up, of course, because it's adding more the viewable range in here, liquidity as well. So that's all that selection is here, this feature. Include liquidity on the price level 0 as well. All right, now this is kind of an interesting one. and it actually works more for crypto markets. And sometimes you see liquidity at the zero price level, or I guess some stocks as well, especially maybe some penny stocks. All right, so yeah, if it makes that calculation here, it will include the zero price level, exactly zero, right? So if this goes to zero, the liquidity that is down there will be included. Now, why would we include that, all right, in the settings here? Well, let me show you. I'm going to go over to Bookmap. I'm sorry, to the futures, Bitcoin futures from Binance Futures. Okay, and let's zoom out vertically by left clicking, holding on the price ladder here, and we're going to go to zero. Okay, and it even goes negative here. Look what's down here. There's 105 contracts or 105 coins down here at the zero level. Now, I'm not quite sure about that. We can scroll though and check it out and see precisely what's at that zero level. Here we go. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's quite at zero, but a lot of times they are. Okay, it's actually a little bit higher. It looks like it's above 500. It's around 550. That's where those 105 coins are, right? So, and this is probably just some massive hedge. It's one individual player. We see the little white line in here, which is our large lot tracker. So we know that that's true. It is one player that has 105 coins down at that 550 level. Okay. Anyway, you can see that there's action down here. He's currently in here. He actually pulled a little bit before, and now he's back in. But this is why. Let's go back to the current market. This is why we included in here, include the liquidity on the zero level. And we should see a boost here. Well, I guess no, it is not. It's not a boost because it's not at zero. It was at 550. All right. So anyway, if you want it, we have that feature as well. If you want to see what people and what traders think about the zero price level, and now the half-life. What this is showing here, this is we use this many times in book, well, 3 or 4 times in Bookmap. As a decay rate. Okay, we use it in the stops and icebergs and boy, a few others. I can't recall exactly. I think cumulative volume delta as well. What this is going to do is, if you have this selected, you can see a dramatic filtering in the output for the outside liquidity here. And what it's going to do is every 10 levels outside of the current market or current view here, you're going to get a decay of 50%. So it goes 10 levels, it decays 50%. It goes another 10 levels, is 50% of that 50%. All right, so it's a half-life every 10 levels, and that's going to approach zero pretty quickly. That's why it's down to 1.5K. All right, so that's it. That's all it does. But you know, maybe you're just more interested in kind of what's closer to you than what's way outside. Okay, we do that with the I think the order book in volume imbalance. I think the order book imbalance. We also use that decay rate in there. That's another example. All right, so it's the same. So anyway, that's what this indicator is showing you. And now we can get into some practical applications of it. And let me check the questions here really quickly. Okay, looks pretty good. No questions here in Discord. And all right, no questions over here also in YouTube. Okay, so we're good to go. All right. Okay, so yeah, let's just start to play around with this. Yeah, I'll show a couple of different examples I thought were pretty interesting. And you know, just to start to understand here, let's go back to the ES and take a look at it. All right, so all All right, well, this is, we're already seeing some pretty interesting stuff on the bid here. Okay, I'm kind of curious what what kind of imbalance we might have on the higher time frame. And you can see about 9,000 contracts. We know that from the delta calculation we made before. But Doug, if you can mute yourself in there. Yeah. Can you hear me, Doug? There you go. Thank you. Doug is he's got permissions in here because he will be doing a special event tomorrow. I think, Doug, we may do it. Should we do it in here or maybe do it in the advanced webinar room? I thought maybe we'd do it over there. It may be in the advanced webinar room. So either or, you guys will see the live button in here once it starts. Okay, so yeah, let's take a look at this and start to understand, like, some practical uses. All right, so let's suppose here, let's look at our candlestick chart, for example. All right, and you're looking at much higher time frames here, but you want to zoom into the order book in Bookmap, but you still want to get a feeling for what's outside of that order book. Well, this indicator allows that. We can start to understand. I mean, look at the hourly chart here. We talked about this on Monday, how this big drop into, guys, I can't wait to go over tomorrow. This is just playing out like clockwork in here. You see these big gaps up, this big gaps down. We talked all about it Monday and Tuesday. Where did price bounce today and why? It's right in front of us. It filled in here. This is where we previously found buyers and gapped away really quickly. It makes good sense that we would see buyers come in here. Where did they go? This is a retracement on a bigger move up into here and this swing up here. That's all it's done. It's still got a ways to go if there's a lot of buying in here. So that's where this comes in handy, if there are a lot of buyers in here. All right, so here's it. We've already, you see kind of the bottoming pattern here, kind of head and shoulders, rounded bottom, whatever it is. We know buyers came in, sellers came in here, buyers came in again. They lifted it up into this area, hit any stops that are above it. We got a pullback here in the afternoon. Buyers are coming in again. All right, now higher time frame. Well, what about a way up here? Like this is at 84. This is 10 points away. We want to know maybe liquidity that is, well, let's just do a test here up here, maybe around 220. Okay, now why would there be liquidity up here? Why would we assume there might be liquidity up here? Anyone have some ideas on that? Okay, it's right in front of us. Because you think it's a Tetris game. Okay. I think of it as a Tetris game. Okay, yeah, Captain Price, I appreciate that. Shorts getting their stops taken out. Yeah. I mean, it's also, remember we talked about, Rob, this 4250 level up here, and then all of that liquidity getting filled, a couple Fridays ago. And then we look for the drop through that level. Well, where did the drop really start to take place? Well, it actually happened the previous Friday. However, the gap here, it's the gap, right? This is what we're looking at. This is where we're looking for. There would likely be, I would imagine, sellers reloading in here. All right, so yeah, also stops. I think there maybe some stops up in here. Probably more up around the 4250 level would be stops, but on a higher time frame. You're getting a deal if you sold in here, and you're reloading here, or maybe a little bit higher. You're getting a deal. A larger player is getting a deal. Okay, so you can go in Bookmap and check that out, but we can also use this indicator, and we can see there is a skew of 9,000. Right now, we're at 74 right now. What are we talking about up here? It was 42, 20, 25. Okay, so let's do some quick math. 75 to 25, so 50 levels back up above or so. So let's put in 60 and let's see what we get here. All right, we're probably going to see the 9,500, I would imagine. No, not much. So we're that delta, or let's just look right at the delta. Okay, we don't see much in the delta. It's not even 1,000. All right, so that's kind of interesting. Let's input a little bit more here, maybe 100. Still not much, not much. Okay, anyway, we're starting to get a feel for where these imbalances and skews might be taking place. Okay, so if that's not the case, right, if we're not getting a whole bunch of liquidity up in here, well, let's go check it out. Okay, let's zoom vertically. We see quite a bit up here at 4,200, the figure. What about 4,225? And let's continue to just watch or go up here. Oh my God, look at this, guys. I mean, we're just not making this stuff up. And do you think this is larger player activity here, guys? This is fascinating stuff. Do you think this is a larger player? And why would you think that? I'll give the YouTube, there's a little slight delay in YouTube, so I'll let you guys get a bit of give you a bit of time here to see this and answer this. Well, Captain Price is exactly the scenarios that we just went over. Like, they're going to get as much as they can on these larger players. Yeah, and if you want proof of it, they're here. They're right here. They're waiting in the order book. And why would they do that? Because and and this it's laughable. You know, because they can reload here, and why would they put in like every other level this high liquidity like this? Okay, because they don't know where they're going to get filled, but they're going to try to get as much as they can on. Okay, now let's see up to where does this stop? Okay, let's just continue to go here. Okay, 42.59. Guys, I mean, we're just not making this stuff up. Like, 42.50 was the level we were looking at 2 weeks ago. Okay, if we want insight to what larger players are doing, here it is. And this is their reload on the other side. Right? And this is how you can start to use the heat map to your advantage and start to understand the behavior of not just people close to the market, but people far away from the market in here. Why would we think this is one or individual player in here? I don't know if it's one or not, but boy, if it's one player, they're just a king of the market here. But look at 177, 27 or 26, 179, 27, 182, 31. These are all similar. Okay, and right across, look at the COB column here. Unbelievable, right? Just unbelievable. Here there's a distinction here at 42.50, the figure. There's probably some other larger player putting something else in there, a little bit more, about double, right? So anyway, it's there. You can see their behavior. And then now, how does that all the way up to 42.59? Let's look at our higher time frame picture here, and let's see, where did this start as well. Okay, it mostly started here. Let's just call it 10, 42.10, a little bit in front of it. 42.10. 42.10 is right in here. I should even mark it up in the chart here, and in fact, I'm going to do that. Okay. Okay, There we go. So we'll take a look at this tomorrow. In fact, maybe I'll color it or make it a different. I'll modify it here. Style. That's what we want. Dot. We'll make it a dot. Okay. There we go. All right. We'll look at this tomorrow in the webinar and understand. Now they're providing liquidity from here all the way up to even above here. Okay, up to here. This little swing right here. You know, up to like 60, 59, 60. That's where they're all up here. So they want to get filled up here. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the overnight session maybe a push up into this area here, fill the gap, get these guys can get on their position here, and then we'll see. Now we don't know that. Okay. However, we know that they're providing quite a bit of liquidity in here, and they came in all around the same time as well. That's another hint. You can see that right here. They all came in around this 42.13. Okay. Now, you know, and look at the delta now. My God, you know, this it's 10K. So that's what we read using this indicator. In fact, it gave us some sort of insight, okay, with the current market. Like, why are we seeing such a big difference in here? The book should be pretty balanced. Even on the higher time frame, the book should be rather balanced. And no, we got some insight here. So let's go back to our indicator, and let's turn on the total price levels here. Okay, and that's 100 levels here, and we only see 3K. So we got to go more. We got to go 150, I guess. Yeah, now we see the distinction. Now it's gotten to 7K at least. There's still more, so I guess we got to go 200. Yeah, now we see 10, a little less, 9. All right, so anyway, guys, just some insights in there, starting to understand this order book imbalances way outside of these areas in here, and how to use this and put this into the bigger plan. Okay, I think this is a pretty good example to show this and understand how, you know, it just gives you some insight. While there's a big delta difference here between offer and bid, what's going on? And that made us go and look at that. Captain Price, you noticed it yesterday, and now they're back again at 11 o'clock East Coast time today. So now we have some insight. Okay, guys, look for the overnight to go look to see like how this closes today in the next hour and a half, and see if we get back up into this 85 and then 4200. You know, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see that there might be a real big appetite for the ES or the stock indexes to try to get price to go up into those areas. Okay, and we'll watch it. We'll wait. If you guys see it, you kind of you'll have to manage it yourself. You'll have to look for the edge in the order flow on the smaller time frame to drive it up into those areas on the higher time frame. All right, so and then look see if they get filled, and then we look for the opposite next week. It'll likely be next week. We look for the move to the downside if they get filled. So that's a big if. We'll be watching for it, and we'll take a look at the price action tomorrow during the webinar. All right, so that's all I have for you. But let me get to some questions in here, and see if you guys find this useful here. Okay, hold on a minute. Oh boy, it'd be interesting to see if this indicator will work and interact with stop indicators and icebergs. Well, it's a very different thing. No, it's not going to work on it whatsoever. We don't know where the stops are. It's about the transactions of the stops. The icebergs, no. That's going to be hidden from the order book. Okay, so we have no idea. I mean, I guess it could be, we just don't know, but it could be that, you know, those 178, 180 contracts every other price, potentially, maybe those are icebergs in there. Who knows? That we don't know. We just know what's in the order book now, and that's the calculation this is making. Okay. All right. The order price ladder orders are significant. That's all I know. Yep, I agree. Yeah, we look for the transactions, see if they are transacting or they pull. Whatever it is, it still offers an edge. Even if they pull and maybe flip, it gives you insight. As long as we see the action from the aggressors to go along with it. If not, then we see something different. Okay. Yeah, and we also get insight from this indicator, like I was saying, like some of these zero levels. Pretty interesting stuff in crypto. All right. All right, I think I've gotten through all the questions. Guys, I don't want to take too much of your time in the afternoon here on some of these events. It's not live. Well, we're going through live order flow, as you can see, but it's really about trying to understand, first off, what is this indicator, how to get it, how to install it, what is it showing you, and what kind of edge, what are all the different features and filters, etc., and then what kind of edge can it give you. That's the most important part. So we want to highlight these things and you know, start to look at some, maybe we come across something interesting like we did today, and leave it at that. Okay, so we'll let you get on with your day. We have there are a lot of events still upcoming here. We have Doug tomorrow at 2 p.m. Guys, this is going to be great. It's about options and how Doug looks at and trades them. He uses the hero indicators, and then looking at Bookmap and the order flow is for both stocks and for futures, and gaining an edge. He's been great. He's been throwing in images and talking about it during the advanced webinars, and we've gotten something from that as well. It's the Doug indicator. He comes in and says, you know, we see the skew here on the they've been buying on the bid, and or you know, calls action has been very high, and selling of puts has been very high. We get some insight. Okay, we look for our levels. It's another confluence, another correlation to take a look at. All right, so Doug will be tomorrow, and also Tom B, he'll be back not Monday but Tuesday. So you know, just want to let you guys know about that. So keep your eyes open for that. The Tom B webinar for Tuesday is up there, so you see that he'll be back on Tuesday. Okay, Trader Expo, you've been using Bookmap for 12 years already. I don't think we've been around 12 years, unless you're one of the founders, maybe. Okay, let's see what else. Oh yeah, I just want to show you the calendar and the special events in Discord here. So you can go to their Discord channel in here, and if you scroll up to the upside here, the 3 events that we have, you can see outside liquidities right now. Okay, I guess I didn't start it. That's going on now. We have the options with Doug. Next week we have Oliver. He's a German trader looking at the S&P in Bookmap, and you know, most of the mostly futures, or I think all futures. This will be in German, right? So I need to let you know about that. And also want to share the site here for you on bookmap.com, where you can find the calendar. Okay, go to education here, go to education down here, click on that link as well, and if you scroll down, you see the calendar here. Right, so here's Doug's for tomorrow. Here's the crypto with rain, the 8:30 to 9:30, then the advanced webinar 10 to 11:30, and then we have Doug for 2 to 3 p.m. You can go forward and look at the next following week here and see that Rain is bumped half hour so that Oliver can present, and then you can see Tom coming back here on Tuesday. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Let me see if any last questions. If not, we'll call it a day and move onward. Okay, hold on. Moonwalker, you are welcome. Let's see, I had no idea how market auction worked. Yep. Captain Price, you might want to watch our educational course part 1. It's on that education page. You'll see it under educational course. That will go through how these markets actually work. Okay, what moves price? And then you can extrapolate that to much higher time frame levels and much higher time frame levels. Okay, we've had that course up there since like 2017 or 2018. However, it's evergreen content, so it is still very applicable. Now it's an older version of Bookmap. Don't worry about that. Parts 1 and 2 will really help you understand the auction. Okay, it's about market mechanics. That is the foundation of all of these webinars. All right, so if you guys are interested in that, go check it out, and then go check out this new indicator. You have access to it. Why not? Go add it, and we can talk about it tomorrow. We'll see you then. Thanks, everybody. Have a good afternoon.